All right. So let's go. Oops. Let's go over. Hold on. I have a block for this reason. All the changes since my Milestone 2 video. So, the first big one is obviously, well, we're textured now. But there is actually more to this than it kind of first appears. So, first I had everything this color, just all the way across. And if I can find, here it is. And the floor was like this, other than those, I'm just for demonstration purposes. And the ceiling was also this white color, because that's what my cousin's basement is. However, I've given him an amazing renovation. I gave him an accent wall. We've got this really nice polished, I believe it's oak floor. And the ceiling, his is all holy and it's one of those open ceilings where you can just kind of see all the vents and stuff above it. Get it a nice and solid concrete tile finish all the way across. So that's just really nice. Really happy with how the walls, floor, and ceiling turned out here. Um, I textured these out with this everywhere. Not everywhere. On anything that would be wooden. The circuit breaker box is still metal. So is the vent. This one is actually also the same thing that all of these are made out of. The notable distinction, though, is that it's so thinly layered that if I go back behind it, maybe you can see, there's this raise and there's this raise. You only see the outer one, which makes it look exactly like a picture frame because it's laid on top. Speaking of, we got rid of the rug. It quickly became kind of apparent that the rug was not a functional mechanic as far as telling people what order to put the code in for. This is so much cleaner. It just looks so much better. And it's more functional too, because if people stood over here, then they'd have the reverse numbers for what to put in things in for. Here it's very clear that you'd start 1 here and you'd end up 10 here. So, very happy with how this went. These plants are also something I really like. They're just made from this little bush texture. But I scrunched it up to make sure the holes aren't as obvious. And I took giant cones and I painted them, applied the wood pine material to them. And then I put other cones inside of them. You can see how that works. Go straight down. It's just a tiny bit smaller. And I applied the rust, mimicking dirt. And then these are actually like 4 or 5 of the plants, just rotated to make them feel a little more flushed out. And so we got our nice little carrying case with the bushes. I like that a lot. Before, the empty space felt a little overwhelming, especially once I removed the rug, but now it's considerably better. I'll actually select those just because it's nice and small. So, yeah, that cleaned everything up there. We've got some of the textures in the vents cleaned up. In the closet, nice and clear. There was a reason I did this, but I can't remember it, so we're actually going to go and set it back to match everything else. But yeah, everything else is just nice and solid, really. You got this. Accent wall isn't on this side, so that you have a double accent on the inner part. I really like how it looks. I think that wraps up the aesthetic changes, which is most of the changes for this, so I guess I'll go through with the level playtest. Turn that down, and I removed the gun mesh along with the player's hand mesh because it was like in the bottom of the screen, and it was just really distracting. No reason for the player to have a gun in this situation. So let's go ahead and do the puzzle. First, we'll go over and grab our screwdriver and open up the vent. There's that nice little lovely chime. The chime just tells you, hey, you got it right. That's cool. I like it a lot. So that tells us that 1 is red, which I happen to know is 9 on that chart. Next, we'll go over here, open that up, grab our key, and there we go. I colored the inside of the icebox similar to this. It's not the same color. This one's lightened up a bit because that's how I've often seen them, probably because of ice, although this one doesn't have ice in it, nor is it going to. There's just nothing that can really accurately mimic the ice texture without making it look really silly. I tried for quite a while, actually. So the ball's not floating in the air anymore. It is at the bottom, which makes it harder to see, but it works perfectly fine. So you've got that. We'll grab the ball. There we go. Open this up. Puts it inside. Close it. Okay. And then open it up. Good. And there we go. We get the sound for transferring it in. It's a little preemptive, but oh, I didn't actually. I'm being silly. There we go. Now we should have our blue ball. Yes. What's happening there is I kept hitting the button for this while I was standing in the hitbox for the washer. I guess that is a bit of a problem, but generally people would actually stand directly in front. So there's our blue ball. We don't need to grab that. I don't know what I'm thinking. So now we know the code is 934, but first let's just verify that it's still, because I did do this. So in our type field, just throw in some random numbers, and there's our failure sound. I think it's pretty clear. Down changing note, give it one more time. Let's put in something that's actually kind of close to the code. 924. It's one off. And nope, still not good enough. So this time we'll hit E one more time. And our actual code. Hey, there's our happy chime. And you can see the door just opens right up, letting us escape. So, oops. Everything seems to be in order. Honestly, it came together. There were a few things I had to ditch. The timer was one. It just wasn't a fun mechanic. I tried many different times. Super functional times made it just feel like there wasn't any reason to rush, and super short times made it feel like, oh, why'd I even make the level look so nice? Yeah, it just basically didn't seem like it made any sense. So, yeah, there's my level. Hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you.